Are they really secrets? Are they really secrets? They're secrets. Well, they're my secrets. This is 7 essential secrets to natural hair growth. Essential. I am thrilled to share these tips with you. I've used every single one of them and they absolutely helped me grow my hair from this to this. Here we go. I take that back. Before we start, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and drop your comments below. Okay, now we're really gonna jump in. These tips are in no particular order. Number 1, stop air drying your hair. And it seems so weird, right? You would think like air drying, staying away from the heat would be a good thing for your hair. Turns out it's not. If you're natural and you have thick hair like mine, you may run into a problem I had in that my hair took so long to dry. It would take my hair 1 full day or sometimes 2 full days to completely dry. Now there's a problem with this. Never mind the fact that I would be wearing wet hair out in all seasons, all times of the year. I'd be walking to class in 30-degree weather during the winter time with wet hair on my back. Way too many times I would change what I was wearing for the day based on whether or not my hair needed to dry. I would intentionally wear a hoodie so that my hair could sit on the hoodie and not drench my entire shirt. So never mind all of that. The bad part of air drying your hair is that your hair is typically much more delicate and susceptible to damage when it is wet. So if you're styling wet hair, like putting it in a ponytail, pulling it back with barrettes, doing whatever, you can actually damage your hair more than if it was dry. Also, if your hair remains wet for a long time, to put it in the simplest terms, your hair expands when it gets wet, and if it stays expanded for too long, that can also damage your hair. Now, the good side of air drying your hair is we keep hearing this: stop putting heat on your hair, make sure that you stay away from heat, it helps your hair, and I'm actually going to tell you that later on, spoiler. But just know it has a bad side too. The alternative that I use is I still blow dry my hair with a diffuser. I just use the lowest heat that the blow dryer has. That actually brings me to tip number 2. Stay away from high heat. By high heat, I mean direct heat, like straightening your hair with a flat iron, curling wand, or using a hot comb. In these photos, I had actually already gone natural. I had done the big chop, but I was still constantly flat ironing my hair. And it was damaging my hair and I'd lost my curl pattern. Now I know some of us really do like flat ironing or straightening our hair every now and then. It is fun to do. As I sit here today with my hair intact, I have actually gone over 3 years without flat ironing my hair. I do have to admit, flat ironing, straightening your hair, playing with the curl wand, the hot comb, all of that, really fun. It's fun to be versatile. I'm not saying you have to swear it off forever, but do be mindful of how often you're doing it. I used to do it like maybe once or twice a year. And even when I did flat iron it, this is back in 2019, even when I was straightening it, I would use like heat protectant spray, which I know some people say doesn't work, but it did work for me. And if I needed a touch up, I just tried as many alternative methods as possible. So even like 4 or 5 days in, if my hair was getting frizzy, I was not gonna flat iron again. Instead, I would do like hot rollers, which didn't put as much direct heat on my hair, or I would just wrap my hair really tightly and put like a foam wrap in it. That would help a little bit at night to pull my hair straight again when I wrapped my hair, but I would not flat iron my hair more than once each time that I transitioned to that straight style. Speaking of transitioning to another style, our tip number 3 is mix your hairstyles up. So often we see people doing the same protective styles over and over again, whether it's one of those high tight buns or even a low bun, ponytails, braids, twists, whatever it may be, make sure you're switching your styles up. My go-to used to be the high bun, but I started noticing my hairline receding. Even now, you can see it's still a little bit thin up in the front. Your hair can actually start breaking off if you're doing too many ponytails and buns in the same place over and over again. So make sure that you're switching things up. If you really love having a bun in your hair, try switching from a high bun to a low bun to like the ballet style bun. Put your ponytail at different areas. Let your hair breathe and do the wash and go. Try a wig or a half wig. Whatever it is, switch it up, because if you keep the same style over and over again, you may end up experiencing hair loss in those areas that are high tension or high stress. Number 4, I love a good protective style. Think braids, faux locks, cornrows, updos. My go-to is twists. I prefer being able to do styles at home rather than having to go to a hair salon, and twists are really easy for me and they look very similar to my natural curl pattern. So it's really easy for me to do that at home. I just do an easy 2-strand twist, very simple. Just make sure you're experimenting with styles that are low tension and low stress on your hair, but also low tension and low stress on you, girl. I mean, it is not easy taking care of our hair. It's like a full-time job. So try out some things that are going to last a while and that are going to be easy for you to maintain. Speaking of which, number 5, consult with a licensed stylist who can advise you on at-home care. I've been blessed to have a stylist in the family. My older sister is a natural hair care specialist. It's what she does, it's what she loves. So whenever I have a question, I go straight to my sissy Paige. What I appreciate most about her is rather than styling her clients and just shooing them home, she really empowers them on how to take care of their hair between visits. So whether you need to learn about more thoroughly washing your hair at home, figuring out more treatments you can do at home, asking for advice on protective styles that work best for you and are easy for you to do, getting advice on maintenance, getting advice on how often your hair can handle flat ironing. I mean, all of that stuff is going to come from someone who really knows what they're doing. So make sure you have a licensed stylist that you can go to for, your regular maintenance and upkeep that you just don't know how to do or don't want to do, but also somebody that you can take advice from who can tell you about how to take care of your hair when you're away from your stylist appointment. Now, I know y'all probably don't want to hear number 6. I know you don't want to hear this one. I know you don't, but I'm going to tell you anyways because it's essential. And this is essential tips for natural hair growth. You have to get regular trims. I know, it hurts to say. It really does. It really does. I saw some of the greatest change when I started getting regular trims. Okay, secret. A lot of my trims I do myself. I know Sissy Paige is going to hate me for saying that, but it's true. I mean, I really do. I can't make it to the stylist every few months. I just can't. My sister is the only person that I trust, and I just can't fly home to Charlotte, North Carolina from New York on a whim. But my hair does get trimmed regularly. Now, this is important because everybody gets split ends. It's just a fact of life. Now, if you get a split end and you get a trim, you're cutting the split end off, in theory. Now, how a trim would work is if you have split ends, the trim would cut them off and leave a blunt, healthy strand. Now, if you don't get trims, that split end can work its way up the hair shaft. And now you have bigger problems. You're going to start to see breakage further up your hair. We've all seen the videos of the very thin, shredded looking ends that always get chopped off because somebody didn't want to get a trim earlier in their journey. So bite the bullet and get the trim. I know it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but your hair will get longer faster if you get regular trim. Now, it seems counterintuitive that your hair would get longer faster if you're trimming it, but it's true. Your hair isn't growing at a faster rate, but if your hair is constantly breaking off because you won't trim it versus getting the opportunity to continue to grow because you are getting regular trims, then your hair will get longer faster than if you don't get the trims. Not that it's necessarily growing faster, but it is getting longer faster. Get the trim, girl. Finally, tip number 7, let go of the bleach if you cannot take care of it. And I say if you cannot take care of it because, I've mentioned my sister, she dyes her hair, I don't even know how many times a year. Every time I see this woman, her hair is a different color. Paige has had green, blue, blonde, auburn, kind of a reddish. I don't know that she's had a jet black, but she's definitely had a dark brown. I think all the colors of the rainbow at this point, and back again. So I've seen her bleach, dye her hair, and do whatever, but Paige is an expert at hair and she takes care of it. And so her hair continues to get long until she chops it off and feels like switching it up. So I know that there are people who can take care of bleached hair, and it is very possible to have healthy hair that is bleached. I just don't think that there are many of us that can actually do that. That's why tip number 7 is stop bleaching it if you don't know the proper care or just don't have time to give your hair the proper care that it needs when it's bleached. If you can't do that, let go of the bleach. I'm speaking from experience here because my hair used to be bleached. My curl pattern was ruined. Even after I dyed my hair dark, it still looked bad, and it took forever to get it back to a healthy place. The strands that were damaged never got to a healthy place, and I ended up just progressively chopping that hair off. And that's because I just couldn't take care of bleached hair. I was really busy. I was running track and field in undergrad, and then I was in law school, then I was in business school. I just didn't have time for it, and so I gave it up. Even nowadays, there are times when I do want to bleach my hair, but I just know I'm not going to be able to take care of it, and I would rather have my hair be dark, be its natural color, and know that it's curly and healthy versus playing around with bleach and having my hair fall out again. Please use these tips, take them home with you, and if you use them and they work out, please drop a comment and let me know how it worked. Again, I've used every single one of these tips. That's why I'm recommending them to you, because I've used them myself, they've worked, and now I'm passing them along to you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.